Down for the press that, okay? Alright, so how's it going, guys? I'm here to show you guys my deck profile for my Lunalight Metalfoes, which is a casual fun deck, but I actually ended up like topping quite a bit of some locals with it, surprisingly, and I went up against like ABCs, the Metalfoe Yangzings, Blue Eyes, etc., etc. I even went up against a Paleozoic player, but I'll be honest, I only won because he drew shitty. But anyways, let's get the deck profile. So what you're gonna do is three of these. This is basically one of your main guys. Don't run any less than three. And basically what this is a Call of the Haunted and also a Torrential Tribute. Not a Torrential Tribute, Giant Tornado, my bad. So basically, normal summon it, special summon another one, special another, Lunalight from the graveyard. Activates effect, imagine you have like a full set of Lunalights, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You bounce your opponent's entire back row, or pendulum scales if needed. So that's why I like this, and run no less than 3 of them. And it's also a good alert darkness target. Next I run 3 Black Sheep. This is a must to run 3 because this is your not only your poly searcher, but at certain times if you need to add a certain Lunalight to your hand, like if you discard like a wolf or a tiger or something like that, your pendulum Lunalight, you can discard this and add it back to your hand. But mainly use this for your poly searcher, and you should always run this at 3. So if you fusion summon for using these two, this is basically at certain times a 1-card fusion material, and you can just add the other guy to your hand. That way you can keep using it. You got to use it for Alert Darkness, or you can normal summon it and do the effect. Then probably go for another poly, add this back to the hand, and you go for Alert Darkness. And it's a really simple, fun card to use for this deck, and I'd suggest always run 3 no matter what. This is a must. Next off, you run 3 Blue Cat. This is basically your go-to for rank 4s or fusion materials, or also just to stall your opponent. So if you got a shit hand, and let's say you had this in your hand, you can set this. If your opponent destroys it at all, and it's sent to the graveyard, you can activate the effect to special summon. I would suggest a Lunalight Tiger, the Pendulum one, and then when that gets blown up, you can special summon this back from the graveyard, so that way you can keep recycling the effects, etc., etc. And so if you had a shitty hand, and you could basically just recycle it. So it has more than one purpose, and that's what I like about it. And at certain times, it's also an Alert Darkness target. And yeah, that's why I run it at 3. Next off, for the Pendulums, I run 3 Tigers. 3 Tigers is really good for right now, because it's got the Pendulum effect and also the Monster effect. So if you activate like a Metalfoes Gold Driver or Steelin, and you activate this, and you have like somewhat like 2 Blue Cats in the graveyard, activate Pendulum effect, special on this, pop it, activate effect, special on another one, and go to a rank 4 or a poly or whatever you need. And that's why I like it at 3. Sooner or later I might bump it down to 2 when the new Zodiac Beasts come out, but until then it's perfect at 3. And the one of I run is Wolf. I know some people say, how come you don't run 3? I tried it at 3, it's very cloggy, and I tried it at 2, and it was still very, very cloggy. And then when I bumped it down to 1, it actually helped me out tremendously. I was able to do more important plays that I actually need, and whenever I need Wolf, I could just use certain cards added to my hand. Yeah. Next off, I run, for the Metalfoes, I run 2 Gold Drivers, 2 Steelins. I used to run 3 of each, but that was when I was using 2 Painful Decisions. But then I found the Painful Decisions become cloggy, so I took those out, and then these became cloggy at 3, bumped them down to 2, and it worked really well. So that's why I keep these guys at 2. And then for a spicy tech that helped me win so much games, Vanity's Fiends, an Alert Darkness target, and also when you get all your big plays done, normal summon this, shut your opponent down, your opponent can't do shit, and basically you win games. And that's why I like it at 2. And then last for the monster lineup, 2 maxis for draw power. For the spells, 3 tankies. This is basically your search card. You could basically search all the way down from. You basically search from Tiger all the way down to your. You basically got all these choices to search, but mainly you'll either search for Tiger or Black Sheep. Or if you have an Allure of Darkness and you actually need to use it and you got no other useful cards, use the White Rabbit. So Fire Formation Tanky could also help you from a brick hand to actually a good hand depending on your place. So for your draw power again, 3 Allure of Darkness, very standard, and it's a must. This was when I had 2 Painful Decisions and a Fusion Tag, and I took those out to replace it with 3 Allure of Darknesses. And it helped me out so much. It's so much more consistent, so much better. So I keep this at 3. And then for the 2 of, I run 2 Lunalight Perfumes. I would love to bump this up to 3, but at the moment I have no room for the deck. But when Zodiacs start to come out, I may be able to have room to put this to 3. But for right now, 2 is good enough. It's basically a Monster Reborn. And also it's basically a searcher as well when it's in the graveyard. And that's why I like it at 2. I would not run less than 2. I would never put it at 1. Because 2 is a good number for now. But until then, 2 is actually really good. And when I get a chance to, it'll be at 3. And then I play 1 Twin Twister. Just to get rid of problematic back row. When Heavy Storm or Harpy Feather Duster ever get off the ban list, and that's if, you bet your ass I'm going to take this off and throw those in. And then for the fusion cards, 3 polys. You must run 3 polys. I don't care how bricky your hand gets with 3 polys. You could draw all 3 of them for all I care. It does not matter. Never run less than 3 polys. You must have 3 polymerizations. Otherwise, the deck sucks. 2 fusion recoveries, recycle your poly or your black sheep or whatever fusion material you use. This is basically your recycle so you can keep fusion summoning more and more. A spicy tech that I also use. 2 Master Change Second. So if you're going against like Mermails or Heroes or Blue Eyes or anything that revolves in the graveyard, this will shut them down when you get that Dark Law out. It would shut them down as well. And then for the last fusion card, Metalfoes Fusion, self-explanatory. Only every Metalfoes player usually runs only 1. I may decide to throw in a full Metalfoes Fusion sooner or later, but until then, it's perfect at 1. And I'm just keeping this as is. I'm not going to throw in full Metalfoes Fusion yet with it. And plus, when it's in the graveyard, you basically got a free Upstart Goblin. And then for the only traps I run is 2 combination, 1 counter, and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. Emptiness, we already know what it does, shuts down your opponent. So basically I got 2 Vanity's Fiends and 1 Emptiness. So I got 3 different ways to shut down the opponent. Counter, basically, I had opponent activate an MST on my combination. I got to search a Gold Driver, use this specimen of Gold Driver. That was when I had a blue cat face down. So basically I was able to stall an opponent for quite some time, and it helped me live and it helped me win a game. So that's why I like my trap lineup as is. For the extra deck, and yes, I got cute little Miku sleeves. For the extra deck, you run 1 Dark Law, 2 Mithrils, 1 Orichalc. Where the hell is my other Cat Dancer? 2 Gat Dancers, 2 Panther Dancers, 2 Leo Dancers, 1 Star Venom Fusion Dragon. This helped me with a game against a Blue Eyes player who had a Crystal Wing out, and sadly that was the only monster he had out, and he already used the monster effect to negate my Black Sheep for Poly, which is no problem at all. Fusion summon this, activate effect, copy its attack, so it'd be at 5800, and it also copies its effects. So basically what this is a copycat on steroids. So it's a 58 beater with Crystal Wing's effect, attack at the Crystal Wing, activate the effect, it would be at 8800 because it gains the attack again, so it'd be at 8800 attack. And if your opponent's Crystal Wing activates the effect to gain 8800 attack, so it'd be at 11,800 to try to smack me for 3k. All I gotta do is negate and destroy, and basically smack 88 to the face, and that's already one hit KO. So it's a good surprise card to have. Then for the XYZs, one Honor Arc, one Dweller, and the Utopia Brigade. And that's basically it for the extra deck cards. For my side deck, it's up to personal preferences. I would love to get Dimensional Barrier sooner or later, but for right now, these are the good cards that I use for now. One Utopic Future. When Zodiacs come out, I'm maining that. 2 Gamma Seals. 2 Jizakirus. 1 Kaiju Slumber. 1 more Twin Twister. 2 Prohibitions. This helped me with so many games. Activate this on a Blue Eyes deck, shuts them down. Activate this against ABCs, shuts them down. Activate this against BA, shuts them down. Basically, activate this on almost any kind of deck, it would basically just shut them down. This I would use against Metalfoes Yang Zings. They would, they would basically summon like a weak Yang Zing normal summon and use their Metalfoes effect to pop. And before they would even get a chance to pop, nope, banish all copies from the hand, deck, graveyard, and field. So that means they lost that. And another good deck this is good against is Despots. This really shuts down Despots. Then I run 2 anti-spells, and then last but not least 2 Solemn Strikes. When I get Dimensional Barrier, I might either pop the anti-spells or the strikes. But till then, this is what I got. And that's basically it for my Lunalight Metalfoes deck. I hope you enjoyed it.